Good evening, everyone. Welcome to episode 130 of the Houston Roundball Review presents Folks Talking Sports. I am, of course, KG Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. My colleague, Willy Gibson, having some technical issues we're trying to iron out. I want to go ahead and get started on the show, and Brother Gibson will join as soon as he can. Let's talk some NBA free agency. Let's talk some news. Brandon F., how are you doing? Thank you for chiming in. Doing the show this evening rather than the last few Mondays because Willy Gibson will be on the road on Monday. So we want to try to squeeze this in this evening to talk. And this so happened that today was the first day of free agency. So that all worked out there. And for those in Houston, or I guess really, if you have the KHOU app, you can, I think, catch KHOU's Sports Extra that airs at 10:30 Central Time. You can catch me and Jackson Gatlin from Locked on Rockets on there with Zach and Jason Bristol. We we recorded, so it's no secrets. So I'm not saying it's live, it's not live, anything like that. So you can catch it. We talked about Reed Sheppard and the Rockets, of course, and the draft and all that good stuff. So tune in, check that out as well. See your man on there, me, looking sharp with my sport coat. But yeah, so we can talk about that a little bit. Just watch. Support me that way as well. And be like Brandon. Support me like this way as well. Get with you a Folks Talking Sports mug. But the news, the free agency news of the day. I saw that Kevin Porter Jr., agreed to a deal with the Clippers. Hours after Russell Westbrook agreed to a deal with the Clippers. And then minutes later, I saw that Russ and the Clippers were reaching a mutual agreement for Russ to go elsewhere. Justin, how are you doing? I want your thoughts on this. Good to see you. Thrillo, how are you? Thank you for chiming in as well. Put that up there. One of the teams, or the team, Russell Westbrook is interested in is the Denver Nuggets. Y'all think that's a good fit for the Nuggets? KCP is going to end up in Orlando, either signing outright or one report, I think Jeff Zilgit said it's going to be a 3-team deal for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. But ultimately, KCP is going to be in Orlando. Chris Paul going to the Spurs. James Harden going back to the Clippers or staying with the Clippers. Interesting. I kind of like how the NBA has changed things around, allowing NBA teams to discuss, negotiate with their own free agents prior to the official start of free agency, which was 5 p.m. Central Time this evening, June 30th. And then news and info trickled out about free agents for other teams. Like, who was it? The first big man to agree with the deal, Andre Drummond, agreed to a deal with the Sixers. So he was the first free agent to agree to a different team. So that's a little change in the game. Thrillo calls it legal tampering, but yeah, you negotiating with your own free agents. What's wrong with that? I got no problem with that. I got a problem with you, excuse me, talking to other free agents, other teams' free agents. That's kind of shaky. Announcing that right at the 1 minute, or not even 1 minute after the supposed moratorium and all those things. So I mean, but Justin, I saw you. I'm hoping Willy Gibson can chime in and get his technical issues ironed out, because he said he had some info to share with me and with you all regarding JB going to the Pistons. I'm not sure how I feel about it, especially what Willy said last week on episode 129 of Folks Talking Sports, how one of the reasons the Cavs fired him in Cleveland was he did not do a great job developing the younger players. Hell, that's half Detroit's team, his younger players, and they need to be developed, and get out of bad habits that they learned last year under that staff and that head coach. So I was kind of, I would prefer, honestly, if any Detroit Pistons fans are watching, I know some do. I was more in the Micah Nori Sean Sweeney camp than I was Mr. JB Bickerstaff. So, but it all works out. This was Justin chiming in with this. Cade agreeing to a big deal, the max for rookie extension, 5 years. What is it? 215, 240, whatever it was. The max for him. No surprise. Good. I'm glad Cade agreed to it. That's a good sign. So I was kind of, and it was 5 years. So that is comforting to me as a Detroit Pistons fan. I'm going to mention this tidbit of info that if you decide to stay up or record tonight's KHOU Sports Extra, I mentioned this tidbit, this note, on Thursday's lunch break. You can watch on Roku, of course, on YouTube at Houston Roundball Review, the Houston Roundball Review takeover, pertaining to Mr. Reed Sheppard. So if you watched the Thursday show, you already know this. If you haven't seen Thursday's show, I'm going to tell you this right now. Reed Sheppard, I'm not a big fan of Reed Sheppard's individual one-on-one defense. However, Reed is a very good help side team defender. Here's the note. His 1 year at Kentucky, Reed Sheppard blocked 23 shots. As a guard, as a 6'1" guard. Kentucky played, 35 games maybe? Jamal Shead, who's known for his defense, especially his one-on-one defense, Jamal Shead blocked 17 shots. So Reed Sheppard blocked 6 more shots than Jamal Shead. Make of that what you will. Different philosophy defensively at Kentucky and at Houston. But just a little note, I did not know that. So I did some checking. The Reed Sheppard block shots total I got courtesy of John Hollinger. And then I went back and checked on Jamal's block numbers and saw it. And I was like, how about that? He blocked more than Jamal. And everybody knows Jamal Shead is known for his defense. But Reed Sheppard is known for his shooting. Hell of a shooter. Lights out 3-point shooter. IQ, all those things. His hops, vertical that he did in Chicago, surprised a lot of folks. So I'm just saying. Justin with the thought here. And of course, you can watch me, follow me more so on IG, Threads, and Spoutable at Folks Talking Sports, as you see it going across the screen as you're watching. But if you're listening later on to the podcast, audio podcasts on Spotify, iHeart, and Apple, Folks Talking Sports, IG, Threads, and Spoutable, way to follow this show and get info tidbits on about this show, episodes, news and notes. And of course, subscribe to the original, the OG, the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, but also the newbie, the youngster, the baby of the media group, the Folks Talking Sports YouTube channel. This show is streaming live on both YouTube channels. So Justin says, just sitting back thinking about the draft. The draft was one of the weakest that the Rockets could afford to draft for need and not best available. Reed seems like a fit. Agreed. Brandon says his playmaking and IQ, along with his shooting, is what attracted the Rockets. Jamal, I think it's not. The Raptors announced the trade, the deal, the acquisition, because there was a lot of things involved with it, because Jamal was drafted by one team, and then it's part of the trade involving Davion Mitchell, Sacramento, and all those things. But Jamal is a Raptor. I don't believe he has signed yet, but he will sign. And based on what Coach Sampson told us on Friday during his Zoom call, the Raptors were one of the teams that were not going to hold and demand Jamal agree to a two-way contract. So Jamal's going to get basically a guaranteed contract. So I'm going to try again with Brother Gibson. Hello,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
There we go.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you very much. Got that ironed out.
Yes,
talk
sir.
about this eventually. But Daryl Moore and Eric Gordon going to good for EG. Going to backtrack, sir. Earlier today, you mentioned that you had some news to share your thoughts.
Yep.
On JB Bickerstaff being hired as the Detroit head coach.
Yep.
I'm assuming that all ties to his firing at Cleveland, from Cleveland. I said, before you hopped on and were able to join, that I was, based on what you said last week about one of the reasons the Cavs fired him was he did not develop or do a great job developing the younger players, the rookies and things like that.
Yep.
So that gave you pause as a Pistons fan. But what were you going to share?
Well, I'll say this, and that's true. Cleveland has 3 top 5 picks on that roster, and they just didn't get better starting with Evan Mobley at 3, Isaac Okoro at 5, and Darius Garland as well at 5. There's not got better. It's gonna sound kind of contradictory to what I said, which again that is true. But Detroit is a perfect situation for JB Bickerstaff because there's no expectation. He's going to improve that team. The question is, are you going to be able to get them to the next level? And there's a pattern. He didn't do it here in Cleveland. He didn't do it in Memphis the first time. So I don't know what it will take, but I think Detroit, there's no pressure. There's no expectation. He has a 4-year deal, which is interesting because what got him in trouble in Cleveland was year 5. So, and all that being said, JB's a good dude.
Right.
He really, really is. He really is. So I say all that. That's not a slight. That's not a negative connotation. He's a good dude. He just, at this stage, it just wasn't getting any better in Cleveland, and they weren't going to wait because Donovan Mitchell is a free agent, and they weren't going to wait anymore. So, congratulations to him. I mean, that's a huge move and continued success to him outside of the 4 times they played Cleveland.
You know,
let me say this too,
yes,
Chris. As a Pistons fan, you'll enjoy this. Do you know the last coach that the Cavs fired, who was then hired as a Detroit Pistons coach?
Yeah,
Daddy Rich.
Daddy Rich, yeah, that's right. I didn't think about that until you brought that up. Chuck Daly.
Yeah, Chuck Daly.
Yeah,
fired as the Cleveland coach and then hired as the Pistons coach.
Boy, I'm not expecting that.
Wouldn't
that be something? I know what you're going to. Yeah, boy, that'd be something. Wow. But yeah, I mean, I knew JB his time with the Rockets and all that kind of stuff. He might be one of those coaches. And Justin brings up a good point here. I'm curious about Fred Vinson is not going to be, I guess, officially on JB's staff, but he's part of Detroit as part of being the shooting coach. So that's kind of different there. But I'm kind of curious to see who JB adds to his staff because he has to develop the youngsters on Detroit. They need a lot of it, a whole lot.
It's interesting because Greg Buckner was his top assistant in Cleveland, and I believe he's in Charlotte now.
I think so. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So I know he got hired quickly after JB was fired. I know Luke Walton was a part of his staff. Dan Garriott is a guy that Cleveland is probably going to look to keep with Kenny Atkinson's press conference tomorrow. That should be announced shortly thereafter. Sidney Lowe was a part of that staff. Luke Walton. So yeah, I don't know.
And for those who did not see on the YouTube community tab, the Rockets will introduce Reed Sheppard this Tuesday, July 2nd, Tuesday afternoon. So if you're wondering, well, Rockets haven't had a press conference yet for Reed, it'll be Tuesday, July 2nd. So don't worry, he's still a Rocket. So he will be introduced to the media on July 2nd. And I'm assuming his hooping mom and hooping dad will be there with him as well. He comes from a hooping family, so don't get it twisted. I'm not sure if you had a chance, if you caught it while you were logging in, but Reed Sheppard had more block shots this past season than Jamal Shead. Yeah, that's what I said when I found that out. Yep. Take that for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Okay. Because on ball defense, Jamal is way better than Reed Sheppard. Okay. But help side defense, Reed gambles a little bit because he's really smart. He's a smart player. Jamal is too. But he knows his opponent. He studies him. So he's going to bring a different dynamic to the Rockets team overall. Your thoughts on the draft? Anything surprise you? I know one thing surprised me. So go ahead.
What surprised you?
Detroit drafting Ron Holland at 5.
Okay.
At 5, let it be clear. I like Ron Holland. Okay. But I thought Trajan Langdon could have traded down and got another pick and still drafted Ron Holland. Yeah. That's really I had no problem with him. Yeah, no, he can't shoot, didn't shoot well, and the Ignite team was horrible. The team was put together.
What, 2 and 23? Something like that?
2 and 32.
Yeah, 2 and 32, yeah.
Yeah. The team was it was like the G League version of the Pistons. Wow. Poorly assembled roster. The pieces didn't fit, but you saw 3 or 4 guys from the team got drafted. Right. Okay. So the talent was there. It was just poorly assembled.
Right.
Yeah. Anything surprised you? I have something else that surprised me.
Not a surprise, but I will tell you my sleeper. If I can do that.
Sure.
Minnesota at 27. Terrence Shannon Jr. He's a problem. Illinois.
In a good way?
Oh, in a good way. No.
Yeah.
Well, let me say
he
this.
Get buckets. Oh, yeah.
He's a problem on the court. And I'm glad that he was able to clear his name off the court. That situation was unfortunate. I'm glad that he was able to clear his name.
Yeah.
But no, he's going to be a problem for opposing defenses this season and beyond. With Ant and Dillingham, that's going to be a little interesting. Yeah, he's a great player, and I'm happy. That's a great move in my opinion by Tim Collins.
You get to this from Justin because you kind of touched on this last week. Justin, I think Justin was here last week. About Sam Cassell.
Yeah,
Sam wasn't mentioned as any candidate, and you kind of touched on it last week that Boston was going to take care of him. So hey.
And then I don't know how accurate this is. I'm not throwing shade at this person, but Steven Jackson kind of said some things last week or within the last week. That Sam doesn't interview well. And that's
I've heard that. Yeah. I've heard that for a while. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that could be code for something else too. But I mean,
I agree. That's kind of where I was going.
Yeah. I've heard that for a while about Sam. So yeah.
Okay.
Well, your thoughts about CP going to the Spurs?
Good for him. Good for Wemby. Good for that team. I mean, $11 million in year 21.
Yeah,
why not?
Oh, I wanted to say, and Justin, Brandon, Thrillo, chime in with if anything surprised you in the draft. But one thing that surprised me, Memphis drafting Zach Edey at 9.
Yeah.
Because he probably could have had a little bit later in the first round too.
40.
No. He was in the 20s, But at 9, that kind of surprised me because Ja Morant likes to play fast. So, I mean, Ja could score 2-3 times before Zach. You know what I'm saying? But it's interesting. He could be a bigger version of Steven Adams for the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
With a little bit more offense. I mean, low post. I mean, you go get Zach on that block. It's not gonna be too many teams that can do him in that size on the block.
Right.
Not defensively. Pick and roll and drop coverage and things like that. That's gonna be an issue. But Yeah, well, your thoughts on that one?
And that's a good one. So actually, I just saw within the hour he withdrew from
Team Canada. Yeah,
Team Canada. Yeah, to focus on, and that's understandable. I mean, he's a rookie, wanting to go to summer league and get better. So yeah, that's yeah, I can see that. That's an interesting pickup. Absolutely.
I saw Luka. I saw FIBA posted tweeted a pic of Luka with his wearing his Slovenia National Team jersey.
Well, of course,
because he will be competing in it. Is that this week when they're in the was it 16 qualifier and winner gets one of the if not the last spot in the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Cuban is not the majority owner of the Mavs anymore, but I wonder what he's thinking about this, man. Like,
I mean,
he hates it. He's hated it in the past, but
he has to. I mean, that's. I mean, he has to. He has to.
This free agent agreement surprised me.
Yeah, I didn't understand that one. Yeah, I saw that right before. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
From whose perspective? Both his and the Wizards?
His. From them, I'm like, they got to spend the money. They got to spend 95% of the deal. Okay, right. I get it. But what are you doing, Jonas Valanciunas? What?
Yep. Because I thought Detroit would sign him. First thing, it's like you mentioned, you gotta get to the floor before the season starts.
Yeah. But what does he think? You just got. I mean, you walked. I mean, yeah, that was a head scratcher big time. Like, what
and the deal was what, 3 years, 30 million?
30.
10. That's not the bag because the non-level
what 13
taxes is 12.8. Yeah. So that's not it either. So I don't know. I wish him the best of luck. All right.
That was interesting.
Your thoughts on it? This was no surprise to me, and everybody kind of knew it. ESPN built it up so much more than needed to be. But the Lakers drafting Bronny.
Yep.
Get your thoughts on. Take it however you want to go. Pick your perspective and go with it.
Who was the 54th pick?
I have no idea.
Exactly. Who was the 56th pick?
I have no idea.
I know. I don't either.
I would have known if before they made a trade, I would know who was 53 because I was Detroit's pick before they made a trade.
No, I say that to say a couple things. The second round picks, I mean, these guys aren't making teams. They're not. They're going to go to camp and they're going to end up in Europe by November, December. So it's this phenomenon because it's the 55th pick. I mean, all right, man, how do I want to go? And I've heard, I'm not hating, but Bronny took away an opportunity from another player to create generational wealth for his family. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. That player's still going to Europe that he would have gone to had he been picked 55. Just like the players that were picked 54 and 56.
Yeah.
But I think the bigger story to me, I don't think enough credit's been given. I think I sent you the picture on Thursday. Props to LeBron James, not for the power move and swinging a hammer for getting his son drafted. That's whatever. However it went down, however you feel about it, the fact that that man in year 22 is in a position to play with his son. Yep. Regardless of how it went down, how he was selected, year 22, and I saw numbers, the year Bronny was born, he averaged 27, 7, and 7. Last year, he averaged 26, 8, and 7 in year 21.
Yep.
Come on, man. And the people that don't like it don't like LeBron, to me.
That's it. That's all it is.
Yes. And so it's a continuation of I don't like LeBron, so I don't like this.
Because Thrillo says this right here, and this is true. If Nassif can get a roster spot, Bronny can get one. I mean,
that was next. Thank you, because I was coming. And then we talk about nepotism. I'm sorry, I'll do it. I'll do it. And you know this, Chris. I'm just for a fact. Who's the GM of the New York Knicks?
Mr. Rose?
All right, Leon
Right.
Rose, former
Right.
agent of LeBron James.
Right.
So Leon Rose is the general manager of the New York Knicks, and he hired when he first got the job, he hired one of his former clients, Rick Brunson. Rick
Mhm.
Brunson as an assistant coach.
Right.
Why is that significant? Rick Brunson has a son,
Yes.
Jalen Brunson.
Mhm.
So now that Rick's an assistant coach with the Knicks, he leaves the Mavericks and he signs with the Knicks. Do you know who Jalen Brunson's agent is?
Go ahead. Tell him.
Jalen Brunson's agent is Sam Rose.
Mhm.
Rose? Yeah, Leon Rose's son. But we're upset that Bronny got taken by the Lakers. Get out of here. Miss me with all of that.
Yep.
Please.
I mean, the haters, the LeBron haters, are acting like this is the first time ever in life
Yes.
that a father took care of his son.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I mean, where are y'all? What planet are y'all on?
I mean, to take it out of the sports world, how many times did Jimmy get the job at the plant because Uncle Tim was the plant manager?
Right.
What are we talking about?
Right.
And like I said, my problem would be if they took him at 17, okay, then we could have a conversation. Took him at 55.
Yeah.
Stop.
This is interesting. Just as the Wizards should be tanking instead of getting Jonas, getting the Cooper flag, and Cooper flag, whoo, that's a bad young man. He is legit.
Yeah.
Next year's class is much better than this year's class in terms of star potential.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. But still got to get it done on the court. Wizards wise, I who was it? Keith Smith. I just read Keith Smith from Spot Rack, who does a great job of salaries and number crunching and all that stuff. He said something about, and it does make sense. Alex Sarr can learn from a vet. So from that perspective, I can say, yeah, I can see that he can learn from a vet. Jonas can, because it's not a lot of money. $10 million NBA money, it's not a lot of money.
Yeah.
And let me say this again, fans, the family watching the show on all the platforms. Once the NBA finalizes and announces its next media rights deal, and the salary cap continues to rise, whoo, $10 million might be for the 12th man on the bench. I mean,
right,
man, because 5-6 years from now, there will be close to players making $100 million for one season. Think about that, for one season.
One.
So, okay, but yeah. So the Fitz, I mean, and Alex Sarr, one of the things he doesn't like contact. He doesn't, that's not one of those physical kind of players. So he might do better playing alongside a bruising big man like Jonas Valanciunas. We'll see. OKC supposedly was in Eugene, Oregon, meeting with Isaiah Hartenstein. And let's pause. Let me get back to Justin's comment there. Think about that. Project that. Isaiah Hartenstein on the Thunder. That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you'd have Chet at the 4. That's 2 7-footers, and they're different 7-footers.
Right.
And Isaiah, he's a physical player. He can finish at the rim. He's a solid rim protector. Check, still blocks shots, and that'd be something. But salute to Sam Presti. He's still doing it. Boy, it's a shame that my man, Mr. Weaver, just didn't take anything to learn from. I don't know, but whatever. Good luck to him with the Wizards, Mr. Troy Weaver. Good luck to you. But yeah. All right. Back to this from Justin's comments here. As you're watching, I think Justin's watching on the Houston Roundball review on YouTube. But if you're watching on Twitter, X, that's fine too. No worries. Folks Talk Sports there as well. But again, majority of the stuff posts that I make now about this show are on IG and Threads. I need to add Spotify to that because it's also folks. Well, no, it's just those two. IG and Threads for Folks Talking Sports.
Mm-hmm.
Spotify is Houston Roundball Review as well. But Justin says, seems like Utah is staying over and open to trading Lauri Markkanen. I would like to hold up, Justin. Aren't you a Rockets fan?
Mm-hmm.
Why you want to give OKC Lauri Markkanen? What are you doing here, man? What? I'm not a Rockets fan, but I want to see that Lauri Markkanen. Oh no, no. Him, Chet, and Shead, no. And Jalen Wimp, no. No. I don't want to see that. No.
He can come back to Cleveland.
Man.
You can come back to Cleveland.
As a Pistons fan, I don't want to see. I don't want to see that. But no. Oh, he says he's talking from a guy that likes the NBA in general, not from a Rocket perspective. Okay, that's fair. All right, everybody. Willie, you first.
Yep.
Your thoughts on Scoot, Kevin Porter Jr. agreeing to a deal with the Clippers?
Yeah, that's interesting. I saw a meme that said it was him and Jonte Porter, and said basically, you can, do what Kevin Porter is alleged to have done and be welcomed back with open arms. But if you bet on yourself, you're excommunicated. It's kind of like, it was an interesting take.
Yeah.
Interesting take. I don't know what the Clippers are doing on other fronts. I mean, to me, that's the least of.
Yeah, let's talk about it because.
Yeah.
Because before that news, Russ agreed. He opted in to stay. Well, he opted in.
Yeah, he opted in.
And at that point, the folks said Russ would come back to the Clippers.
Yeah.
When the KPJ news was announced, moments later, word was Russ and the Clippers have agreed to seek a trade for Russ.
I don't understand.
Russ
Why'd you opt in, Russ?
Because he probably could have got more than $4 million from the Nuggets.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't know, but and fit wise, maybe. Well, no, because he opted in for $4 million. So yeah, he can't change the contract. So yeah, I don't know what Russ's people are thinking. Because
that voucher, that voucher,
I mean, because that doesn't make. If you wanted to go to the Nuggets, I understand there's a deadline. I'm not sure what the deadline. I'm assuming it was around this time yesterday.
Yeah.
Just hit the market, Russ. You would have got some money. You'd a lot of the teams have the 12.8 million tax exception. He could have got that. Yeah. I'm sure of that. If nothing else, from a bad team like Detroit, he could have got that from somewhere.
Right.
But not just making $4, just more money than what we getting. But still,
Yeah. And you have no control. Regardless of money, you have no control. Like, you gotta go where they send you. Like, or they're working on the trade. No, you could have 29 other teams at your that. Yeah, I don't understand.
And this, Justin, Paul George is gone.
Yeah, he's out.
He's gone. Clippers put out a statement. PG's gone. They thanked him for his time here and everything he did. They even wished him well.
In Philly, wherever he's going.
Yeah. But they said,
is that the worst trade in NBA history?
It's up there.
Oh my God.
It's up there. But the Clippers said, I don't know if I can pull it up, but part of their made a press release about it too.
Yeah.
Was they cited the constraints of the new collective bargaining agreement, which really does.
Go ahead. Sorry. No, go ahead.
Which limits teams who have 3 superstars. Which limits teams from paying, top dollar for 3 superstars. Mm-hmm. So, they're really maxed out at the second apron, and you're very restricted to what you can do. And and as far as trades, signings, in-season acquisitions, all those things. So they kind of poo-pooed it. And so, yeah, it's the CBA's fault that we can't keep Paul George.
Hold on, but a couple things. But okay, they said it was the CBA's fault. Read the last paragraph.
Go ahead, because I'm looking for it.
I don't have it. Oh, but
yeah, I'm trying to find it. So, yeah.
We're excited about the new CBA and how it'll give us the. Like, wait a minute, you just said it was the reason you didn't sign PG.
Yeah.
But now you're excited about it. I'm like, come on, man. And then, okay, so if it's the CBA's fault, why'd you offer him? It wasn't about the CBA. They offered him 3 years and he wanted 4.
Right.
So if it was the CBA's fault, you wouldn't have been able to offer him 3. I think Steve Ballmer just doesn't understand the NBA. He made a bad business move. That's what I believe.
And I wonder how this is going to impact the attendance at the brand new building.
Into it, though, right? That's
so.
But you gave James Harden $70 million, which get your money. I'm not whatever, but you can't tell me it's the CBA's fault when you tried to offer him a 3-year deal. And he didn't come home. He didn't stay because he wanted 4. So, but we're not supposed to understand. My fault. I mean, that's not it. Yeah, it was the CBA's fault.
So Brandon says PG with Denver.
They don't have no money to sign their own people.
No, he's going to Philly.
Yeah, he's going to Philly. I mean,
the thing I'm curious about is, well, I guess it doesn't matter because a few hours ago, the talk was Philly was trying to figure out a way to get Paul George and KCP.
Right.
And I was like, how are they going to do that? That's a lot of, they got cap room. I don't know if they got that much cap room to do that. Right. And the KCP agreed to go to Orlando for a 3-year deal at reportedly $66 million. Get that money.
3rd-year player option.
Get that money. Any fans who talk about I think I saw somebody tweeted, replied to that post about KCP and the money, overpay. If a team is going to offer it, where do I sign?
It's what I've always said, Chris. I've never heard of anybody pulling a gun during the contract negotiation.
Where do I sign? I go to that same fan. So you tell me if Orlando going to offer you, any team going to offer you $66 million. Ooh, that's too much money. I'm not worth that much money.
I only want 12.
No, I'm good with 6. I don't know. Who's going to do that? Thrillo, would you do that? Justin, Brandon, anybody watching? If a team, owner, company, corporation, anybody, Justin, our numbers indicate to you that we believe you're worth $100 million. Justin's going to say, ooh, no, thank you very much for that belief in me, but I'm not worth that. I'm only worth 10. No one's going to do that. Please, come on. Miss me with that.
Thank you.
Come on. Any fan, any perspective. I guess you're not a fan of any of that team. Maybe that's why you're saying it. Come on. Please, yes, bingo. It's business. They will get rid of you at the drop of a dime. Right. Get that money while you can. Get that bag. Get that bag. Get that bag. Brandon, no, indeed. I am getting that money. Do you need my ID? Do you need my direct deposit information? What do you need from me to make sure I get this money? Tell me what you need and I'll give it to you. Please.
Yep.
Okay. It seems like it's not going to happen, at least right now.
Mm-hmm.
But the scuttlebutt last week about the Rockets and KD.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on that? We messaged back and forth on a little bit, but what are your thoughts on that?
Man, what's KD? Who you getting? KD is a bucket. He's gonna get you his 27, but with that young locker room, how's that gonna work?
Yeah,
how's that gonna work?
Because I like the Rockets core, and I don't see the Rockets. KD here. The Rockets are not that close to winning a chip. That KD here would make them win a chip. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So yeah, I It'd have sold tickets, yeah, but it would not not gotten them any close to the ultimate goal,
Right.
and that's to win the chip.
Yep.
But no. Thrillo says heavens no. Brandon's going a little bit different. I think he's saying let's get it done. Are you talking about this about KD to the Rockets, Brandon? Because he said it depends on what we have to offer.
Wow.
Rockets will have to get rid of too many assets for KD because
they picks back.
Yeah, they give the picks back. But if I'm Phoenix and Matt Ishbia, thank you for the picks. But you know who else we want?
Jalen Green.
Oh, let me see. I think I will take Alperen Şengün, Tari Eason, and Cam Whitmore.
See, I purposely stayed away from Cam Whitmore, but you're right. They would.
Yeah. And your picks. Yes, you give a picks, but that's what I wanted. So how about that, Brandon? Would that be okay with you? Şengün. Who would I say? Şengün, Tari, and Cam. What I say? Yeah. And the picks. Justin says Phoenix would gut us, as he should. But Willie, Brother Gibson, I'm not sure you heard this.
Mm-hmm.
And for those Rocket fans who are watching, I assume you heard it or read it. Draft night, Rafael Stone told us that they had Reed Sheppard as their top pick on their draft board, and it wasn't even close between 1 and 2. Then Rafael said that if Reed were picked at 1 or 2 and not available at 3, the Rockets would have traded down or out of the draft completely. That's how highly they thought of Reed Sheppard.
Out of the draft completely.
What are your thoughts on that?
I don't believe it. Out of the draft completely.
He said trade down or out of the draft. Yep.
If I'm the governor of that team, I got questions. Like, wait a minute. So there's nobody else in this draft? I mean, granted, yes, it was a weak draft by all accounts, without question. But there's nobody at 7. I mean, Dalton Knecht went at 17. And you telling me if I don't get this dude at 3, I'm out the draft?
Yeah, it sounds a lot like hyperbole.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
But
I told you Terry Shannon went at 27.
Yeah.
You telling me if I don't get this dude at 3, I'm out?
Justin says, just shows how much the national media gets it wrong so much. Predicted. I said Kling. I like Klingen as a Rocket as a fit, or maybe that's part of it as well. As we said it, you said it. You coined the phrase. Well, you say it a lot on this show.
Lion season.
It's lion season. That's what it is.
Yeah,
it's a lion season. You know, trading Langdon in Detroit. Told media up there, we kept quiet on purpose. You know, we wanted to keep it secret of our interest in Ron Holland because we didn't want anybody to know. You know, so yeah, keep things close to the vest. A lot of draft gurus had Reed Sheppard at 3 to the Rockets. The basketball people, the basketball media had Donovan Klingen to the Rockets. I was one of those because, like I said, I thought Donovan was a better fit. Once Steven Adams is gone after this year, you got your rim protector, you know, to back up Şengün. But I never doubted that Reed Sheppard would be a Rocket. He fits a need. Rockets need shooting, and he is a hell of a shooter. So it's all part of lion season, and Donovan Klingen falling in the draft doesn't change the fact I think he went to the right team. I think he's a good player. And the NBA people are quirky. Mr. Knecht, great shooter, great scorer. Dropped in the draft because why? He's too old.
That's the dumbest.
He's too old.
Oh my goodness.
He's can he play? Can he help my team win?
Yep.
He can shoot. Oh, where do I go get this man?
Yep.
But teams will pick. My Pistons are a great example. We'll pick a young man who can't shoot right now, who's 18 years old.
And going back to Bronny just a little bit, that's what got me. They talk about he only averaged 5 points a game at USC. The Bucks at 23 took a kid that played in Australia that averaged 2.7 points a game.
Yep.
Stop it.
Yep. In Fale Dante is the Oregon big man who signed a summer league contract. I'm not sure specifics on it, but yeah, he'll be in summer league with the Rockets. I'm assuming he'll be in Vegas. And Rockets' first game in Vegas is
just the Lakers.
The Lakers summer league team, Knecht and Bronny and whoever else the Lakers have. Oh, one of the other else people the Lakers have, former Rice Owl, former Xavier Musketeer, one Quincy Olivari. Signed, I think, a two-way deal. Rice Owl's big man, Max Fiedler, signed an Exhibit 10 contract with the Sixers. Brother Gibson, notice what I said. Rice Owl's big man signing a contract. It's an Exhibit 10, so max is like 50 grand, but it's still a contract. Rice Owls, Quincy Olivari. That's two Rice Owls there. Quincy left, yes, but still two Rice Owls. An outsider, you're from Ohio, might ask, damn, Rice had two guys sign NBA contracts. How come they couldn't win? Right?
Yeah.
Did that thought run across your mind?
A little bit.
And well, that's why the head coach is no longer there. Coach Scott Pera, who I admire, respected. And hell, I could go back a little further. Trey Murphy III was a Rice Owl.
Oh.
Yes. He left COVID years and ended up at Virginia. But yes, he was a Rice Owl at one point. I could see his potential. Whew. Let me say this real quick. CA37, thank you very much for joining us. That's a good point right there. Following the draft, like Cam Whitmore, we'll see if he had the same kind of impact. But Trey Murphy III, Rice hosted the Cougars on campus inside Tudor Fieldhouse. First half, this is when Quentin Grimes was still a Cougar. The Cougs had zero answer for Trey Murphy III. Zero. He had, I want to say, close to 20 points in the first half. Outside, hitting threes. Going baseline dunks. Had no answer for him. Rice led by 9, 10 points, double digits, whatever. Then he rolled his ankle late in the first half. Wasn't the same rest of the game. And then Quentin Grimes went Quentin Grimes. And Rice had no answer for Quentin Grimes in the second half. And he had like 25 points in the second half, and the Cougars ended up winning the basketball game. So, but I'm just saying.
Sorry, my fault.
Yeah, no. You are correct. Quentin Grimes is now with the Mavericks. Part of the trade, well, it might grow, but part of the Tim Hardaway Jr. and 3 second-round picks going from Dallas to Detroit for Quentin Grimes and maybe others. I think that deal has not been announced yet. May wait until July 6th. So I think other pieces might be added to that deal. But Coach Sampson mentioned during his Friday Zoom call that he knew about that deal about 2 weeks ago, that Quentin was going to Dallas. I knew about it Monday, that Quentin, I talked with my buddies, that where it going? Where it is going? That Quinn's going to Dallas. And I was like, oh, okay. I was kind of taken aback by it. I was like, And then I was like, well, as long as Detroit gets some picks for it, I'm okay with it. And that's that's what they did. Got 3 seconds because they need assets. They need future assets. So it all made sense from that perspective. But Coach Sampson just drops gems because he was not prompted about it. And he just said, oh, I knew Quentin was going to Dallas 2 weeks ago. Oh, is that right, Coach? So thank you very much.
Right.
But yeah. But yes, this is good. Mr. Tran, thank you for chiming in from California. Thrillo says this note about Joirdon Nicholas signing a deal with the Lakers Summer League team. Excellent. Another reason for me to watch the game against the Rockets Summer League, because other than that, if it's not young men who I want to see, I'm not going to watch Summer League.
Right.
It's Summer League. And I admire the NBA press releases, how they hype it up. And the defending champ, the defending Summer League champ, it's the Cavs, right?
Cleveland Cavaliers.
Right. The defending Summer League champ, Cleveland Cavaliers, first game is whatever. And I was like, oh, that's right. The Cavs did win Summer League last year. Oh,
yes, sir.
No idea. No idea. Whatever.
Yeah.
But salute to them again. And when is that first game?
July 12th.
So that's the second game. Is it 8:30, right? Rockets Summer League teams against the Lakers.
7:30 East. 7:30 East, 6:30 Central.
The Rockets game, not the first. The Rockets game is it first?
No. The Cavs play first at 4.
Yeah. Let me see. I got it. So, because let's see, I couldn't even tell you when Ron Holland and the Pistons Summer League team is. I mean, it's Summer League, folks. But yeah, let me see.
Ask me how I know the Lakers and Rockets play at 7:30.
How do you know that, Will?
Because as soon as the Lakers pick Bronny James, they put that up on.
Oh, there you go.
Literally.
there you go.
I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay. Dalton Knecht and Bronny James and the Lakers will face number 3 pick Reed Sheppard and the Rockets. You are correct. 6:30 p.m. Yep. You are correct on that. All right. Well, I guess I'll tune in. Maybe. I'll tune in after one or two things happen. Or at some point in the game. Reed Sheppard will block Bronny's shot. Or Bronny will block Reed Sheppard's shot. See, I told you Reed couldn't play. Or Reed blocks. See, I told you Bronny couldn't play.
Yep.
Or Bronny on an air ball or 3. See, I told you he couldn't do, on and on and on.
Yep.
All this, folks. It's
Summer
Summer League. Give me a break. Okay.
Yep.
Whatever. But sir, do you believe Bronny will spend time in the G League this season?
I do.
Even though Mr. Rich Paul said he won't go to the G League.
I think he will. I honestly, what I think happens is this. I think, I could think of 3 scenarios. I think opening night, Bronny starts with LeBron for the historical aspect.
Sure. Okay.
Let's keep it a buck.
Yep.
He starts opening night with his dad. And I can see a scenario where LeBron assists on Bronny's first bucket.
Okay.
And then later in the game, Bronny checks in for LeBron. Just for all of that, just historical reference. And then I think Bronny goes. And think about the Lakers. Their South Bay Lakers play in the same building in El Segundo in their practice facility. So they're not sending him to the G League. He's just going down the hall.
Okay. Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So I can see all of that happening. And Trey Allen.
Yeah, he's a LeBron hater.
Okay.
Yeah. So don't.
But yeah. All right. Yeah. So
And a Rockets hater. Okay.
Wow.
So yeah. But he's consistent in it. He's consistent in it. He loves the Cougars and the Pistons now. So But Justin brings up this point about the USA Select team. Going to mention some of the other members of the team.
Cooper Flag is on that team.
Named to the 2024 USA Basketball Men's Select Team are Jalen Duren, Detroit, Cooper Flagg, Duke for his 1 year, Langston Galloway, free agent, but he helped some of the other Team USA teams qualify. Nigel Hayes Davis, who's playing over in Turkey. Trace Jackson Davis, Warriors. Jaime Jaquez Jr., Heat. Brandon Miller, Hornets. Trey Murphy, Pelicans. Keegan Murray, Sacramento Kings. Brandon Podziemski, Golden State. Micah Porter, the Utah Jazz, and really the G League team, the Salt Lake.
Wait a minute. Michael Potter?
Michael Potter, yeah. yeah.
Okay.
That's why I wanted to read it off. Yeah, Michael Potter. Peyton Pritchard, Celtics.
Okay.
Jabari Smith Jr., the Rockets. Jalen Suggs, Orlando. And Amen Thompson, the Rockets. So that is the USA Select Team, and they'll be in Vegas July 6th through the 8th. So by the time they're done, Andy Yanez, Deion Dunlap, and I will be arriving in Vegas for Big 12 Football Media Days on the 9th and the 10th. We're getting there late July 8th. But yeah, what are you going to say about Michael Porter? Michael Porter.
Michael Potter was here for a minute, literally, at Ohio State.
Yeah.
And he transferred to Wisconsin. I'll just stop there. He transferred to Wisconsin. I'll leave that there. Maybe we'll pick that up. Sorry, listen. Sorry, viewers, but we'll talk offline, Chris.
I understand.
Yeah. I'll wait.
Yeah.
I'll wait.
Oh, yeah. But it's a good learning experience for all the young men there. And notice, out of those 12, I think 12 names on the roster, Cooper Flagg is the only collegian.
Yep.
Yeah, Cooper will be the first collegian to participate on the select team since Doug McDermott and Marcus Smart in 2013. Wow. And that tidbit of information is in my Houston Roundball Review Men's Hoops blog. So got the website, got the blogs for men's, women's hoops, got the YouTube channels, Twitter, all that kind of stuff. All different ways I'm trying to share content with the family, the audience, you guys, and women. All right, Brother Gibson. Is there anything you want to say regarding the NCAA? Anything going on there?
NCAA?
Big 12, Big 10, ACC, anything?
I do want to say congratulations and a super huge shout out to in about 2 hours, former Ohio State athletic director Gene Smith, who's retiring today. Today is his last official day on the job. Ross Bjork officially begins as Ohio State athletic director. Did I say general manager? I think I said GM. I'm sorry, athletic director.
But that is a new title that some schools are.
Yeah, I just said that. I just saw something in my. But anyway, former Ohio State athletic director Gene Smith retires at midnight, and Ross Bjork starts officially as athletic director at midnight. Gene was here 19 years. Phenomenal leader. Phenomenal man. Tremendous leader for Ohio State. Ambassador for Ohio State. Did a lot for me. I'll honestly say, I'll be completely biased and say I truly enjoyed covering him and wish him nothing but the best. Him and his family. Miss Sheila, his wife, as they and Gene said that they're actually she's in the driveway with the RV, gassed up, ready to go to Colorado as soon as he finishes. So kudos to him and much success, continued success. Nothing but the best to him and his family in retirement.
Question: is Will Howard the guy at Ohio State?
Yeah, for the most part. Yep. And Alan Tran, Ross Bjork, the Aggie. Yep. But Will Howard's the guy. For now, he's one of he's has 1 year. He's a veteran. He, Julian Sayin from Alabama came in, and people thought he had a leg up until Bill O'Brien became head coach at Boston College.
Yep.
Prior to coming to Ohio State, he was offensive coordinator at Alabama and recruited Julian Sayin to Alabama. So he came here, and he had a leg up. But once Bill O'Brien left, he kind of came back to the pack, so to speak. But Will Howard, August 1st, camp starts, and he is going in as a prohibitive favorite at quarterback.
And I see this question from CA37. Some further info about the USA Select roster. I'll leave it up. But 10 members of the select team have previous USA basketball experience. So that's part of, once you're in the pipeline, you're in the pipeline at the junior and senior levels, including 5 returners from the 2023 select team. And those 5 are Jalen Duren, Langston Galloway, Trey Murphy, Peyton Pritchard, and Keegan Murray. So like I said, once you're in the pipeline, you're in the pipeline. Mm-hmm. Now, that does not mean that some years from now, Jalen Duren's going to be on the main team for the Olympics, but you get the experience. And some of the guys like Cooper Flagg was part of the U17, U16, U18 teams, and now he's getting his chance and experience with other NBA players and pros from overseas, because Cooper Flagg, once again, is really, really good. He's really, really good. 6'9" athlete. I saw, which one was it? Cameron Boozer for the class of 26 had like 26 and 15 yesterday to lead the USA 18 team over a win, something like that.
Yeah, U17 team. Yeah.
So Carlos Boozer has 2 sons who will be in the NBA draft in a couple years. So I mean, we're getting old, Will. We're getting old. So, but yeah, I saw this. I don't know if you saw that.
I did see it.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
41-20 was the score.
It wasn't even close.
Yeah.
So I don't know the makeup of that team, the USA football team that lost to Japan. So I don't know if it's made up of military people. I don't know the roster construction, whatever.
Yeah, I've never heard of it, but yeah.
But it doesn't make sense, Will. and granted, I don't know the makeup of the Japan team.
Right.
But for USA, on the surface of it, it's American football, Will. You lose to Japan by a score of 41-20.
Yeah, that was bad. I saw the score, but I don't, like you said, I don't know who's on the team. Well, but I don't know. But yeah, that's
I mean, it could have been but really, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the makeup of the team.
I don't know.
But even if it was D3 players, Will.
Yeah, that's bad.
And
yeah.
Salute to y'all. Y'all are bringing in info I had no idea about.
Yeah, I don't know any. I'm looking at the clips. Yeah,
that means Coach learned from Bob Stoops.
Yeah,
Japan ran the Oklahoma offense. Thrillo says Japan O-line dominated. What the hell? What?
Right.
Salute to them. Okay.
But speaking of Olympics, man, shout out to this young fella from Maryland, Quincy Wilson. Quincy Wilson is his name. The young fella, the 16-year-old.
Yeah.
That runs the 400. Man, dude was running like 44.5 at 16 years old.
Yeah, he's the next one.
He's the one, bro. Yeah. Listen, I'm like, young man, 44.5. You're 16 years old.
He's the next one.
Yep. He's the one. Yeah, yeah. And made the team in the relay. He finished 6th in the final, so he's on the relay. He's in the pool. Yeah. He's in the pool for the relay. So that's shout out to that young man for real.
All right, Mark Stein, NBA insider, tweeted that Dallas, the Mavs, are signing Naji Marshall. So I guess they are now moving on from Derrick Jones Jr.
Yeah.
While the Mavs focus on a sign and trade for Klay Thompson. That's how I want to wrap it up right there. Because Rocket fans, for the most part, the Rockets aren't going to do anything major now in free agency. That might change regarding trade in February. Okay. But all signs point to them being pretty quiet regarding free agency and bringing back most of the guys from last season. You know, Jayshawn Tate, Buckeye, most of Uncle Jeff. They're exercising their options for him, for Jayshawn, Uncle Jeff, and Jock Landale. And sounds like Aaron Holiday also, which I'm not really sure about that one, but but right now as things stand, they're going to just add Reed Sheppard to what they already have. But it's almost July 1st. So not a lot of fireworks for the Rockets right now. But your thoughts on what the Warriors are doing, have done regarding Klay Thompson?
Well, you just mentioned a sign and trade with Dallas, so that's saving a little bit of face. But I mean, what did I see? I saw they turned down a trade. It was Wiggins
and CP's contract.
Yeah, for Zach LaVine on number 1.
Something like that, yeah.
And they said no.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So Mike Dunleavy, what are you doing? What are you doing, Mike Dunleavy?
And the thing is, I guess it's commendable that the Warriors are okay with a sign and trade for Klay to the Mavs, because the Mavs seem to be the favorite for Klay. Why would you agree to that, sending Klay for a sign and trade to a team in the West?
Because I think it's the lesser of two evils. I think they're doing that to keep him away from LeBron.
I mean, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I just sign and trade him to the East. But
right.
I mean, okay. Then your thoughts on LeBron, possibly, because it sounds like the free agent options that could help the Lakers are kind of drying up.
So that means LeBron signing for 3 years, 162.
Yeah, he was agreeing to taking a pay cut if the Lakers could sign or acquire impact free agents.
So I think now with the Lakers doing their pivoting now, I think they're going to use those contracts. It's kind of a joke. Late Friday night that D'Lo didn't opt in until after Dejounte Murray was traded. So, but now I think he's going to be traded anyway. I think they're going to use that contract. Gabe Vincent, and I saw they were in on Jeremy Grant from Portland.
Yep.
Possibly Brook Lopez. Which, okay, answer me this: do you trade for Brook Lopez, or do you sign James Wiseman?
Based on what I saw last year and a half,
I know. I forgot who I was talking to.
I would trade Brook Lopez, man.
I forgot who I was talking to. But no, I mean, just from the perspective of you don't want to give up your assets. I mean, Brook Lopez is a complete, and you got James Wiseman out there. So yeah, I get it. But yeah, so Jeremy Grant possibly in a trade.
But all those things, because Brook Lopez would help AD stay at the 4.
Yeah.
But Jonas Valanciunas would have helped AD stay at the 4. Jeremy Grant, AD is going to be at the 5.
Yep.
Which he doesn't like to do too much.
Right.
James Wiseman is not a starting center in the NBA.
Correct.
He has potential, and he showed signs of it in March and April. He still fouls too much. His defense. More and more, I put a lot of this stuff, what I saw last year from the youngsters, at the feet of the coaches. I don't know what they were teaching young men last year.
Mm.
Defensively, it made no sense what they were doing defensively. So maybe James Wiseman going to a team actual coaching, can help him. He's still 7 feet tall. He still has the light hasn't come on yet, and it may never come on yet. But with the right staff, right teammates, I'll say this. I think if I'm the Lakers, and I'd have to have better big men in front of him, but I'd rather have James Wiseman than Christian Wood.
And Jackson Hayes, who just opted in.
I'd rather have Jackson Hayes than Christian Wood.
Right.
Yeah, because those two, Christian Wood is talented, but Christian Wood just seems to believe and exude that he thinks he's better than everybody else, and not understanding his role. And he rocks the boat too much. Oh man, you bounce around a lot. Understand that. Look in the mirror. Understand that. All right. But whatever. All right. That'll do it. This was good. Thank you. It kind of worked out for us because you're going to be on the road Monday.
Yep.
But doing the show today worked out for it so we could talk about NBA free agency. So it all, the start of it. So it's all good. I'm kind of curious to see what Detroit is going to, who they're going to spend the money on and overpay, because they got to spend it on some folks besides Tim Hardaway Jr., because they still have $50 million of cap room, even with Cade Cunningham agreeing, and he hasn't signed it. He's still got to hammer out the details, agreeing to the new 5-year deal. Boy, if it's a 5-year deal, that's a great thing for the Pistons, because at some point, maybe by year 3, they'll be good. Won't be the next 2 years, but year 3, they'll be better this coming season. Be hard for it to be worse than we were last year, but they'll be better. Rockets, once again, Rocket fans will introduce Reed Sheppard this Tuesday afternoon to the media, having the intro press conference for Reed. I'll be there for that. I think it starts at 1:00. I'm assuming it will be streamed on Rockets.com. It would make sense if it's carried live on Space City's home network on TV. I don't know if they're going to be or not, but why not? But the Cavs got their coach. Detroit got their coach, former Cavs coach, JB Bickerstaff. And I'm going to end on the note you mentioned, but I want to give you the screen to remind everyone how they can interact with you on social media. And I think I got it right this time. There you go, sir.
Yep. Appreciate it, Kris, as always. After the crawl stage, you can find me on still contrarian on Twitter. You can find me at Will Gibson 7 on Facebook, Will Knows, and IG and Threads, Will Knows Sports.
And I'm going to say this. Y'all follow me for the main stuff, the OG, the original of the Houston Roundball Review on IG, Spoutable, Threads, and TikTok at Houston Roundball Review. But one of my last 2 notes, as Mr. Gibson pointed out, a previous head coach of the Pistons was also fired by the Cleveland Cavaliers. And that head coach had tremendous success with Detroit. And his name, God rest his soul, was one Chuck Daly.
Yep.
Daddy Rich himself, but Chuck Daly. So it would warm my Pistons' heart if JB Bickerstaff had just one bit of success like the great Chuck Daly. I can dream, and I will dream on that one. Mm-hmm. But wrapping it up, thank you to Tran, Justin, Thrillo, Brandon, everybody watching on Twitter/X and YouTube for this edition of Folks Talking Sports, episode 130. This really NBA free agency edition. Reminder, click on that shop button on the Houston Roundball Review channel. Get your Folks Talking Sports mug. Rockets will introduce Reed Sheppard this Tuesday afternoon to the media. Have some comments from that presser on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. And if you're new to this channel, don't be a stranger. Come again. Click on that bell, subscribe to the channel, and keep this in mind. Since 1994, the Houston Roundball Review, local name, global perspective. Everyone, take care. Peace.